2 test. Sound check test 2 1 2 1 2. E-verse 12 speaker coming through loud and clear. Well, what's up, guys? Hopefully you can see me now. Hopefully you can still hear me. We're just doing a quick test on a brand new product that is releasing April 22nd. We've had this for about a week now for testing. Like I said, it will be available to the public on April 22nd. Sounds good right here as I come back to the point of recording. And that is the E-verse 12 right there. And there it is. This is the new product that is being released on April 22nd, coming up this week. This is the brand new Xvive U35, guys. This was sent to us by our friends over at Xvive. They asked if we'd like to go ahead and review the brand new U35. Guys, this thing so far sounds great. And we're gonna go back and look at the GoPro footage see how far it was. According to Google Maps, I was behind that white car right there. That is about 115 feet to right here in my garage. So the given range on this thing is 100 feet line of sight, no obstruction, no RF interference. And as you've guessed, a lot of you have used this product from Xvive, but you have not used the U35. You've been using the U3 and a couple of other ones that they have released. But this is the brand new U35. This runs on 5.8 gigahertz, so no more 2.4 gigahertz. You know that 2.4 is very crowded. It's just one of the most used frequency ranges out there. So Wi-Fi modems, baby monitors, other people, like if you're working with a band or if you're in a venue that you're constantly at, that they're using 2.4 to broadcast music throughout their house system, that's interference. And there's only 3 main channels in the 2.4 gigahertz range that do not overlap each other, that are solid, and we're going to get into that. But this sounds, of course, I'm right here, and I did have the speaker facing towards where I was at. So had I had the speaker turned around, but I wanted you guys to hear it straight from the GoPro, how it was coming through. So this could be a game changer. I know there's a bunch of DJs out there like Joe Bunn that call these things garbage, which, you know, these are not the high-end wireless XLR systems. Trust me, if you want to get into the Deity, if you want to get into the Sennheiser and the Shores, that is the way to go. But to get you out of a pinch, if you're throwing something just a short distance to another side of the room, this could really come in clutch for you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into this product. I'm going to show you the packaging, show you what all is included, and we'll get into the specifics of this brand new U35 5.8 gigahertz operating range from Xvive. So let's get inside where it's a little cooler and we'll talk about this system. Guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another product review. And what makes this even special is this is a brand new unreleased product until next week. So by the time you're seeing this video, we've already recorded this, but this was sent over from our friends over at Xvive. They asked if we wanted to review this brand new product releasing on April 22nd to the public. And guys, I gotta be honest, we just tested it and I haven't been able to use it in a real world scenario yet. I just haven't been given the opportunity. But a lot of you are familiar with what this picture looks like, right? So every mobile DJ out there, every band utilizes these things. These are the wireless microphone systems from Xvive. Now what's different about this is the U35, right? So you've seen the U3, the U3D, the P3, the U3C. They have multiple items of this nature released out there. But what's different from this is I want you to look at this. Right here in the top corner, this new U35 operates in the 5.8 gigahertz band. So no more 2.4 gigahertz band, such a crowded band to be using, especially if you're at venues or you're working with bands. Speaking of bands, right? So I went ahead and put everything back in the box you saw from the preview video. I already took it out. I tested it with the E-verse 12. hooked it up, I was able to make it about 115, 120 feet according to Google Maps from right where the speaker was positioned. Now I will tell you, I had the speaker turned around because it was pointing towards the GoPro. So I did have line of sight. Ideally, it probably would not be line of sight if the speaker was facing away from me and the actual receiver dongle was facing to the back of the speaker. But we're gonna give it a real world scenario test here coming up soon. We have several weddings coming up in the near future. So to get this out of the way, I know there's DJs out there that say that these are garbage. You heard me mention it in the preview video. These are not top high-end wireless XLR systems, guys. If you want to get into the Sennheiser, to the Shure, to the Deity, all those, you're going to be paying big bucks. And what's crazy is they actually didn't tell me, and because it's not released yet, I have not been able to find how much this is on the internet yet. So if anything, I want to guess it's going to run anywhere from $199 to maybe $299 according to what the U3 is going for at the moment. But being that this is 5.8, maybe it might have a little bit of a price increase on it, but it should be worth it. You don't get that crowdedness of the 2.4. So let's go ahead and turn the camera around. I'm going to show you the box. I'm going to read you some of the specs. I'm going to show you what comes in the box and then how you can utilize it for your system. So here it is. It's the U35 wireless microphone system for dynamic microphones and also for like wireless speakers, guys. If you guys are hooking into an aux out to where you can independently control that gain on that external speaker, then you can obviously set it to line and it won't run as hot as mic. And then with that auxiliary out independent volume control, you'll be able to control a speaker, say that's within 100 feet, give or take. So with that being said, the range is about 100 feet on this. In that preview video, I was about 115 to 120 feet, but I was line of sight according to Google Maps, right? So great packaging, as always, like 5.8, I just said, operates 110 decibels, great packaging from Xvive. Big shout out to them for sending this out to us. Like I mentioned, this does release April 22nd, and they didn't exactly give me a price, and because it's not listed yet, I haven't been able to find it on the internet. So the U3 is still going for about $199. If I had to guess, maybe this would be around that range, if not a little bit more, just given that it's a newer technology. It's more in the 5.8 gigahertz band. And I'm just showing you what all's in the box. So you get your warranty card, which I highly suggest that you scan so that you can have your warranty on that. Is this the manual? Yeah, this will be the manual with your FCC certification, how to hook it up, how to use it. This all depends on what your scenario is. If you're in a band or if you're a DJ or if you're just a speaker that needs to bring a speaker and hook into it and with a wireless microphone, right? Make it wireless. And then of course, with everything, Xvive sends you a product line of what they offer, which by the way, they have a lot of great products. Underneath here, this is pretty cool. Get a nice carrying bag as you do with the U3, the U3D, the P3, the U3C, nicely branded bag there. And what I love about Xvive that I wish everybody would follow suit on is check out this cable. They always supply you with these too. So this is a USB-A to a dual USB-C. This way you could charge both of these at the same time. You don't need two bricks, you don't need two cables, one cable and go. Right. So this one I left on from earlier, but very nice build quality as always. As you can see, there is a difference here with this red line, very distinctive U35 branding on here, metal housing, the same charge light and battery indicator. And then of course on this one, they've got the red band around it, which distinguishes it, makes it very distinguishable from the U3 and the U3C. So that antenna, which I'm guessing that is the antenna that transmits out. And then you've got your power, your mute, and your mic and line options right here. So the one thing that I think everybody had hiccups with and you know, kind of didn't really agree with on the Xvive series is these right here are very easy to be switched on. So there were many times that I charged these overnight and I got to my gig and this was on because it was in the bag. It was, you know, I threw it in my backpack and something moved and it switched on. So I really think this could be improved. this could really be improved. Maybe have some kind of lock mechanism on it, or just don't make it to where it's so easy. I mean, I'm barely pushing up on this and these things are turning on. So yeah, I've thrown these in my backpack before and I've gotten to my gigs and they've been on. So the way I'm terrified about batteries not lasting, I always put them on charge just to make sure that they're fully equipped. So as mentioned, these operate in the 5.8 gigahertz band. 2.4 is very crowded, guys. It's crowded primarily because it's used by numerous devices, as you know, including Wi-Fi networks, Bluetooth devices, cordless phones, microwaves, you name it. I mean, anything and everything uses 2.4 gigahertz, especially if you're working at a venue that they have a house sound. They might be running a 2.4 gigahertz wireless router to, you know, to the manager's phone, and then it transmits to the system. So there you go. You got to compete with that. So especially older Wi-Fi routers that don't have the switchable 5.8 or 5.0, and then old cordless phones, Bluetooth devices. So these all use the 2.4 gigahertz band for wireless communication. So the 2.4 gigahertz band only has a few non-overlapping channels, meaning that if multiple devices like this are using the same or overlapping channels, they can interfere with each other, causing dropouts. Microwave ovens also operate in the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and when they're turned on, they can create significant interference for nearby Wi-Fi and Bluetooth devices. So as you know, a lot of these venues that we work at, most of these wedding venues have really nice kitchens, and they have sometimes multiple microwaves. So if they're using those to heat stuff up, then that's going to create some interference as well. So the 5 gigahertz band and up offers more channels, faster speeds, making it a better option for devices that require higher bandwidth and are less susceptible to interference. So this is good. So you got the USB-C charging port on the side here, and then right here, which is perfect. And then as mentioned, you have your channels that you can switch from. So you always want to make sure that you're on the same channel. Typically, I used to be on channel 1 all the time, but I find that with channel 1, I would always have some type of interference. So I always try to be on channel 3. 3 seems to be the most reliable in my area. I'm in the Houston metropolitan area, so whether that makes a big difference or not. So look, speaking of channels and which channel to select on the receiver of the U35, check this out. So once you're at your area, your venue, your bar, your club, wherever you're at, wherever you are utilizing this, this now has an auto scan feature that will pick the best channel out of 6 channels for you to be on in your area. All you have to do is hold down the channel button for 3 seconds. It'll start cycling. You'll see it moving around the channels here, and when it finds the absolute best, it is going to stick on that channel. So it found channel 1 is the best where I'm at right now. So obviously what I would do is power on and then go to channel 1, and now both of these are paired. So just to see if it picks the exact same channel where I'm at, I'm gonna hold this down again for 3 seconds. I'm gonna let it cycle through. And now it found channel 6, so maybe I was getting some interference on channel 1 now. So it's always good to do a rescan, especially if you're in a venue where you test it when the venue's empty. I would test it once all the guests, just like when you scan microphones, right? You scan it when you get there, you do a sound check. It's always good to go ahead and rescan once some bodies are within the venue. So I am running several Wi-Fi devices here in my house, so maybe that's why it found channel 6 now as being the best channel. So very cool feature, gets you out of a bind sometimes from picking the wrong channel at the venue you are in. So remember that, hold down the channel button for 3 seconds, let it do its auto scan. And if you're anything like me, I always scan about 2 or 3 times just to make sure that I am on the best possible channel. So the 5.8 gigahertz frequency band offers several advantages, including higher data rates and reduced interference compared to the 2.4 gigahertz. It's often used in applications like FPV drones,
Wi-Fi and wireless guitar systems. Now the 5.8 gigahertz band supports faster data transmission rates than 2.4, which can lead up to, I want to say it's around 1300 megabytes per second, but it also has a lower latency, meaning data is transferred more quickly. So the 5.8 gigahertz band is generally less congested than the 2.4 gigahertz, leading to fewer interference issues. Now, with that being said, it offers faster speeds, but it has a shorter range than the 2.4 gigahertz band. So it often doesn't penetrate through objects as easily as 2.4, like sheetrock, drywall, brick, stuff like that. So you might have some interference if you're trying to transmit, say, to another floor or to another room. If you're a DJ and you're trying to, maybe you're set up in one room and they want a speaker in the dinner room, and you're like, crap, it's all the way over there, I got to use wireless now, right, rather than run a cord. The 5.8 might give you some issues compared to the 2.4. So in conclusion, who is this for, right? The U35 wireless system. Honestly, this is for DJs, for bands. This also could be used for live speakers that need to transmit to a speaker if they're giving a speech, say in-house or at a job site or anything like that. This would come in handy. So this will also go in my bag. I will carry with this with me every weekend to every event, just in case I have a speaker that I need to throw that's within 100 feet. A lot of times we'll do our main setup in a different room than where we do introductions, first dance, and stuff like that. So that forces me to bring an extra speaker, which I usually bring the eVerse12. But this would be cool to hook into the output of the eVerse12 and then hook into the input of another eVerse12 that's, say, 30, 40 feet away to get a full room sound. I think this would be perfect. It's not overkill. This would work great in that type of scenario. I don't know if I would necessarily trust this to transmit to another room through walls, through brick, through concrete, through sheetrock or anything like that, or especially if I would use this if I had to broadcast sound up to another room. With that type of scenario, I think I would move to either a Sennheiser, a Deity, or my Shure system that I have for wireless speakers. So great product. Thanks to Xvive for sending this out. I definitely look forward to utilizing this at a real world wedding here coming up in the next week or so. And I will also follow up with a follow-up video on how it worked, with some video and some audio tests from that as well. So thanks again to Xvive for sending this out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'd love to have you support the channel by subscribing, dropping a like, dropping a comment, and sharing this video with someone that you think would utilize a system like this. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks. All I wanna